Prices are up, sales are slowing, and rates are coming down? Let's break down what that means for buyers and sellers in Reston, Virginia on the Foundation Report. I'm Eric Fafoglia of the Strong Foundations Group of Compass. I'm based here in Great Falls, Virginia, and I service McLean, Reston, Great Falls, and the greater DC area. I help buyers and sellers make smart moves using my 208-step selling process and 128-step buying process. All right, let's jump into July data. All right, Reston saw the median sales price increase to $605,000 in July. That's double what Fairfax County saw. But at the same time, sales and new listing activity is starting to cool off seriously. Only 94 homes sold in July, that's down 9% year over year. And new listings dropped 12% with only 95 new homes hitting the market last month. The median time it took for a house to sell was 13 days, which is up 85% year over year. Buyers are noticing that with more homes sitting on the market active, they have more time to pick which house they want. This is somewhat typical for a summer market in Reston. We tend to see a lot of homes carry over from previous months that didn't sell in the spring market and are sitting here collecting days on market, meaning that buyers have seen this and are now more hesitant to make a decision because there's more inventory. Overall though, sellers still perform pretty well. They received 99% of their original list price. That's a slight drop from last year, but it's better than most other markets in Fairfax County. So sellers are pricing pretty accurately. Now here's the stat for actual homes for sale. We had 203 homes active on the market in July, and that's up 7% year over year. So there you go. And month supply did increase with that. Of course, we're at 2.5 months supply, meaning if no new homes came to the market, Reston would sell out in about 2.5 months. That's a modest gain of about 11%. And we're starting to see a more move to a more neutral market, but still definitely favoring sellers slightly. There were no new construction sales in the month of July, same as last year. And that's really comparable to what we're seeing overall in Fairfax County and the greater Virginia, DC market, is that more and more builders are pulling back on speculative builds because they're seeing the rising costs and of course interest rates going up for buyers. While Reston's showing small signs of cooling demand, prices are still up, and so we're moving to more of a rebalanced market, not necessarily a reversal of what's happened over the last few years. For sellers, what's really important is that your home is unique and it stands out. Preparing it super well, being creative with a smart agent that knows how to market your property is going to be key to getting you asking or over and hopefully multiple bidders. For buyers, the majority of the time you're not going to be competing, and so you have a little bit more flexibility right now. But don't let this market escape you because it could turn around and fall back to competing and you'll be back paying over asking price for a home. All right, so heading into fall, we're gonna be focusing heavily on mortgage rates because last week with the labor data, we saw a huge relief. The labor data came in a lot lower than anticipated. And so with that news, there's a higher expectation the Fed's gonna drop the rate in September. As a result, mortgage rates came down to 6.5%. That's the lowest we've seen since October 2024. With 3 more Fed meetings this year, we're really hoping for some positivity in the tone of Jerome Powell. All right, that's the latest for Reston, Virginia, July 2025. I believe if you're planning for a strong decision, it starts with a strong foundation of knowledge. If you'd like to better understand what all this data means for you and your long-term plans, just reach out. I'd love to chat. I'm Eric Fafoglia with the Strong Foundations Group, and this is the Foundation Report. I'll see you next month.